Right, thank you for staying with us. We switch gears right now. We talk about the power sector. Not talking about the oil and gas right now. We're talking about power supply, the way we call it lights here. What is happening, especially in the past 1 month. In fact, there was a week, I think last week, in which, or last 2 weeks, the grid collapsed 4 times in 7 days. 4 times in 7 days. That's not how to run a country of more than 200 million people, a nation that is 64 years old, our country rather, that is 64 years old, and is still having incessant power grid collapse. In fact, many persons have said this is not just a collapse, it's more like the national grid is in perpetual comatose and in ICU, intensive care unit. What is really happening? We have with us a very critical stakeholder in that sector, Comrade Biyi Adeyeye. He is the national president of the National Union of Electricity Employees of Nigeria. He joins us virtually. Comrade, good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Good morning. Thank you for having me here this morning.
Let me ask you, what is happening? You're a critical stakeholder in this sector. National grid has been collapsing, especially it collapsed 4 times in a particular week. What is going on?
Oh, thank you. Let me first of all state it clearly that it is very, very disheartening for Nigerian experiencing collapses every time. And let me express this to Nigerians that we as stakeholders, as workers of the industry, we find it so sad. We are not happy about it. And at the same time, the situation sometimes goes beyond our control. As it is, we're experiencing a serious challenges, of which at the moment we are working seriously to restore back supply to all the necessary places. Thank you.
But what is happening? Can you let us into it? Because you said maybe some of these things are beyond you. What for Nigerians watching you and for those that will watch you later, especially online on our YouTube channel or other platforms, what is the explanation that you can give? You're a big player in this sector. What is going on? Let us into it. Maybe we can understand.
Yeah, let me bring it to a layman language that Nigerians be able to understand
Yes, please.
perfectly. I will explain in this manner that electricity supply is a network that comprises of different sectors from generation to transmission to distribution. And when I say transmission, transmission wheels out the power that is generated from generation companies, while the distribution company are the one that supplies to the consumers mostly. Though at transmission level, you still have some customers that enjoy supply at that rate of electricity or at that capacity of electricity. But at the moment, the challenges we are facing that is causing this frequent system collapse, national grid collapse now, is as a result of vandalism that is seriously beyond the control of the TCN management or the workers under the TCN management. You know, recently you discovered that under a week, we experienced like 3 times system collapse.
Yeah.
This was as a result of a vandalization of our major line that carries supply from Shiruru to Kaduna. That is entire part of the north. On each line that was vandalized recently, we have bulk supply of 600 megawatt on each line. Imagine us having a line that is carrying up to 600 megawatts being vandalized by some insurgents. That's a serious challenge to us. That's a serious problem that we find it very difficult to tackle because of the terrain. All these things happened. Thank you.
Who are these people? You say insurgents. Are you talking about those terrorists and non-state actors, or they are just petty thieves who just need some of these materials to sell or do something, or is it an act of intentional sabotage? Who are they?
Well, this is Nigeria where you cannot easily identify those who are working against these facilities, we call it a sabotage, because for somebody to just straight away without even looking at the economic situation or looking at what is going to be the adverse effect, carrying out such activities. We are not talking about ordinary posts. We are talking about a very gigantic structure that carries that huge amount of electricity, that capacity of electricity, touching them. Somehow you just look at it, is this a sabotage, or they are using this one to make money? But the worst part is, let me believe that no one has been sanctioned for all the one we have been experiencing in the past. If there has been serious sanctioning on them, I know we will not be experiencing it often like this, because I won't deceive you, sir. This is a serious problem to us. It's a serious challenge to us as a worker in the industry.
All right, so when you talk about vandalism, it's not like what these people cut away are pins or pencils,
or just cables.
If they are something as large as what will take more than one person or even vehicles to move, how come such a location is not heavily guarded by security personnel to prevent such?
Yeah, thank you. Very, very long time now, we have been collaborating with the security agencies, especially the Nigeria Civil Defenders, most times to, do some skeletal work anywhere we've discovered that the terrain is fine to access. But when you say vandalization of 330 kV lines, I'm very sure these are not the job of more. In fact, it's going to be a collective or teamwork of numbers. It is not a pin. These are not cables. If you are talking about cable, you can be talking about all the transformers in the street, or talking about all the poles or whatever, or the lines on low voltages. But these are high tension lines. These are lines that are energized. These are lines that are located even far away in the forest.
Does this not mean that these vandals get help from in-house?
That is not possible. Why I said it's not possible? This network is connected to each other. If you are vandalizing a line from Shiro to Kaduna, this same line, when you look at it from Jos to Gombe, is connected. It's also connected. Electricity supply is a kind of a connection that when it comes from the source, it reaches everywhere, except it is being isolated at a point. So there's no how you can link up with somebody working within that region and without linking with somebody working at the other region. It is not possible.
Yeah, Comrade, the vandalism you're talking about, I want us to put it in the right context. There are vandals who go, around either the high tension devices or the ones in the street, that their aim is to, steal and go and sell or make do with whatever they have vandalized, and then wreaking havoc and, making those people around those places to suffer the loss. Now, all these vandals, because you mentioned insurgents, do they just blow it up so that there will not be power in those places? Because I'm talking about two things now. Vandals going into a place to vandalize and cut away stuff, or they just blow it up for whatever reason. So help us out.
Well, these are vandals that you hardly know the tactics or the way they operate. Their modes of operandi can never even be identified, because to us it comes as a surprise most times when you discover a line or a 330 kV line carrying such capacity of load being just blow up suddenly like that, and there's no how this thing happen that will not have adverse effect on the grid. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And we cannot even say, maybe those are those ones that normally vandalize at the low level of electricity supply are the one that is migrating or, developing to this level of getting to the high voltage vandalization. But on this particular aspect of vandalism,
All right,
I'm
quick
very
one.
sure.
Yeah. Quick one.
Can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm very sure that if Nigerians security agencies are ready, they can be sanctioned. Anyone that is caught should be sanctioned, even at the low level of vandalism. If somebody vandalizes a transformer today,
yeah,
and you allow such person to go scot-free,
yeah,
that person can migrate to. Yeah.
Comrade, the TCN, the NERC, Electricity Regulatory Commission, what are they doing? What is the Power Ministry doing? Because we have been able to establish that maybe the activities of vandals are the ones causing this particular incessant collapse. What are they doing? Has there been any arrest, or is just complaints and complaints?
Well, at the moment, from TCN sector to TCN angle, we have our lines department who we have deployed to this particular work, and everybody is working to ensure first in supply is restored to the That is exactly what we are doing at the moment. As for NEC, I'm very sure NEC are convening meeting left, right, center to ensure there is a lasting solution to this problem. I was aware of a few days ago when NEC invited the stakeholders to come and explain how can we move forward about this. And I'm very sure they will not keep quiet. They will ensure there's a lasting solution to it too.
Quickly, is that the reason, this explanation of yours, is that the reason why almost the entire northern region of the country has been thrown into total darkness for almost weeks now, and the economic situation there is not funny at all? We read out in the pages of newspapers today that maybe the federal government are looking for alternative or something. This explanation you just gave, is that the reason, the vandalization, why the entire region of a country has been in darkness?
Yes, thank you. That is the major reason why we are having serious challenges of supply to the north. As it is, we have about 4 major lines. We identify them as 288, 289, 290, 291, 330 kV circuit. These are major lines that carry supply from Shiru to Kaduna. And when I mentioned that particular line, it's the same line that supply Zaria or Jigawa, Bauchi, and so many areas around that axis. So the only line that we are managing to backfeed this area now is just Gombe. And this one also cannot, it's just there's going to be a limitation of what this line can carry. When about 4 lines has been vandalized, to affect the other major lines too. So that is the problem. That's exactly why they are experiencing this blackout now.
All right, I'll take this as your parting shot because we have to go. The Minister of Power, Adeyeye hinted that the federal government might be looking into providing a decentralized national grid to ensure that the entire country is not thrown into total darkness whenever we have a grid collapse in the country. Do you think, this will suffice? This will act as an alternative to ensuring that even when one grid collapses, other parts of the country, still have electricity supply?
Well, thank you very much. It's good. It's a great move if such is well implemented. For instance, now I'm aware that a SCADA system has been introduced for a very long time. If they can implement this one perfectly, it will go a long way, and we're going to have, at least to some extent, a stable national grid.
All right.
Thank you.
Quick one. Just 30 seconds. There are insinuations that maybe you are a comrade, president of a union, seeking for the welfare of your people, and maybe why you might not have said this is what they should do, maybe we might have 1 or 2 of your people that are trying to make a point. And I'm talking about sabotage. What do you say to that? If they think that people think members of your union, electricity employees, might be sabotaging the system to prove a point. Is that yes?
Yeah. I want to believe anyone saying so is just let me say they are novice to this, and probably they
Yeah.
don't know what it means to restore back a land that is being vandalized.
All right. All
It's
right.
not the same worker that is going to work on it. As I'm talking to you, my members are inside thick forest, working day and night, taking
All right.
risks of their life
Yeah. Want to
to
thank you.
ensure
Yeah.
these particular lines are restored.
All right. And I'm sure the explanation you are giving this morning, we eliminate the minds of many Nigerians to see the
No one will try
challenges.
such. No one among my workers will try such a thing. It's not
All right.
possible.
We want to sincerely thank you, Comrade Biyi Adeyeye, the National President of the National Union of Electricity Employees of Nigeria. I want to sincerely thank you for coming through and for providing this clarity, especially to millions of Nigerians.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Comrade. And this will be the size of the program. Nigerians just want to have a stable power supply so that they can move on with their life.
Of course, we just want to have the basics. Thank you, people, for joining us and being a wonderful companion. That's where we pull the brakes on the show this morning to make a return tomorrow for another interesting time on Morning Spring. Watch a recap of the show on our YouTube channel at Western Spring TV. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and X at Western Spring Television. My name is Evelyn Ohiolei.
And of course, I'm Femi Ojo. Thank you for staying with us. I'll be back tomorrow, God willing. We will be back, God willing, tomorrow. God bless Nigeria. Bye.